our assembly. I am so glad that you are back joining us again today. Well, today in assembly, we are going to be speaking about identity. Do you know what identity means? Well, if you don't know what it means, you surely will by the end of our assembly. But first things first, we're going to start off with another game. I'm sure you were expecting it. So our game today is all about identifying different animals. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to give you some clues and you have to try and guess what animal I'm describing. Now we're going to give a point system here, okay? So there are 5 points that are available in this game. Each round will have 5 points. So if you manage to guess the animal on the first clue, guess what? You get 5 points. If you guess it on the second clue, you get 4 points. If you guess it on the third clue, you get 3 points, and so on. Then 2 points, then 1 point. And you have to keep the score all on your own. I hope that makes sense. So my question is now, are you ready to start the game? Here we go. Okay, so here we are, round 1. Are you ready? My first clue for you is that this animal lives in both the wild and also you will find this animal in a zoo. Any guesses? 5 points if you guess it right, but you don't know what it is yet, so you have to wait till I've gone through all the clues. So that was the first clue. Okay, have a little think. Now my second clue is this. This animal is an endangered animal. If you manage to guess it at that one, 4 points. My third clue is this. This animal has 4 legs. Do you think you know what it is yet? If you got it then, keep that thought in your head, 3 points. My fourth clue. This animal is black and white. A lot of you are thinking, I know what it is now. Well, if you manage to guess it then the animal is, you've then got 2 points. And my last clue is this, that this animal that sometimes lives in the wild, can be found in a zoo, this animal that is in danger also has 4 legs and is black and white, has black and white stripes. It's a stripy animal. And everybody said the animal is a zebra. You're absolutely right. The animal is a zebra. Okay, so that was round 1. Now we're on to round 2. Now, your teachers will know what the animals are, so they'll manage to keep you right. And can I just see who got it in 5? Who got 5 points for that last one? Hope you're being honest. 4 points? 3 points? 2 points? 1 point. Who managed to get the zebra right at the end? Well, I'm glad you all managed to get the zebra right at the end. Now, here we go on to round 2. Okay, so round 2 starts with this. This animal can live over 40 years. So can you think of an animal that can live longer than 40 years? Now hold that thought, guess with your teacher, 5 points if you got that one right. This animal is also, clue number 2, very colourful. It's a colourful animal. Any guesses? That would be 4 points. The third clue is this. This animal, this is a big clue, has no legs. Anybody guessing what it is? No legs, so that's 3 points. This animal, the next clue is, also has fins. No legs and fins. And, just in case you thought it was a snake, the last clue is that this animal lives in water and lives in a tank. Do you know what it is? This animal, of course, is you're right, it's a goldfish. Goldfish can live for over 40 years. They're normally quite colourful. Of course, they don't have any legs and they've got fins and they live in a tank. So well done if you got that one correct. Now, we're on to round 3. So keep your points, keep adding them up. But this is round 3. Now, the first clue for round 3 is this. This animal has 2 legs. Wonder what you're going to say. 2 legs this animal has. So if you get it right, this animal also can talk. I wonder who has 2 legs and can talk. Okay, 4 points if you got it right there. This animal is also very colourful. I wonder what you're guessing. The fourth clue is this, that this animal comes from a tropical country. Not from Scotland, but from a tropical country. You've maybe guessed it by now, but if not, for 1 point, this animal can also fly. So that's the 1 point clue. So of course, what is it? This animal is You're right, it is a parrot. Well done. So anybody own a parrot? Got a parrot? Has a talking parrot? They're quite amazing birds, aren't they, when they yap away to you. Well, I've got 2 more rounds to go. Okay, so we're now on to round 4. Now for round 4, my first clue is this. This animal eats meat and also plants. So they eat both. Any guesses? That's your 5 point there. Eats meat and also eats plants. Second clue is this. This animal lives between 2 to 4 years. Can you think what that would be? Lives between 2 to 4 years. So that's not really a long time. This animal also lives in the ocean. That's for 3 points. Next clue, this animal has a hard shell. Oh, I can see you all guessing now. It's got a hard shell. So the last clue for this animal is that it has 10 legs. Now you probably guessed it on the last one when I said it in a hard shell. But of course the 10 legs for 1 point. What animal are we talking about? It is of course a crab. You're absolutely right. Well done. Well, I've got 1 more round for you. So are you ready? Take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. Okay, here we go. Round 5. So this animal has a unique marking. Every single one of them have their own marking. Do you know what animal that would be? That was for 5 points. This animal also has one of the loudest voices in the world. Any guesses? That's for 4 points. So it's got a unique marking. It's also one of the loudest voices in the world. Well, the third clue is this, that this animal is nearly extinct. I wonder if you know which one it is. That was for 3 points. Well, for 2 points, I think some of you will get it if you haven't got it already. This animal eats krill, small fish. I wonder if you guessed what it is. So if it's eating small fish, you probably worked out where it stays. But just in case you don't know what animal it is, for 1 point, this is the largest mammal in the world. And it is, of course, the blue whale. I hope that you managed to guess that right. Isn't that amazing? How we can identify different animals through describing them in different ways. You know what they look like, you know where they live, you know what they eat, you know all the different things about them, and that helps you to identify them. Well, we are going to speak a little bit more about identity after we watch the Bible story. But first, we're going to sit back and watch the story of Jacob and Esau, 2 brothers who have a great story to tell. So here we go. Here's the video.
God's story, Jacob and Esau. So part of God's story is about twin brothers, and it begins like this. Once, there were twins named Jacob and Esau, and they didn't get along. They actually started fighting before they were born. Then during birth, Esau came out first, but Jacob was holding on to his heel. That's not normal, and they even look different. The Bible says Esau's body was covered in so much red hair, it was almost like he had clothes on. Jacob's skin was smooth. Well, they got even more different as they grew up. Esau hunted animals and spent time outside. Their dad, Isaac, was a big meat eater, so Esau was his favorite. Jacob, on the other hand, was a quiet guy who liked to stay indoors. Their mom, Rebecca, liked Jacob the best. The Bible doesn't talk much about Jacob and Esau as kids, but we do know Esau was lucky to be the oldest because he had what's called a birthright. That meant Esau would be in charge of their family, including all their money, land, and stuff. Jacob would probably have to work for his brother Esau, and their dad Isaac would give Esau a blessing, which means Isaac would ask God to take care of his oldest son Esau in an extra special way. Well, you probably think Esau was pretty excited about this, but he wasn't. In fact, one day he gave it up. He'd just returned from a hunting trip. Since he was out killing animals all day, he didn't have time to eat. He came home starving. Jacob was making stew, so Esau said, "Quick, give me some of that stew. I'm very hungry." Now, Jacob was a little sneaky, so he didn't just share the stew with his hungry brother, which would have been nice. Instead, he said, "First, sell me your birthright." And guess what? Esau said yes. It's a little like paying $1 million for a bowl of mushy soup. We don't know why Esau did that, but the Bible says he didn't care about the birthright. But later, when Isaac was really old and about to die, he wanted to ask God to take special care of his firstborn Esau. So he told Esau to go hunting and make him some tasty food, maybe for the last time. Now, Esau wanted the birthright, so he left right away to hunt. Meanwhile, Rebekah had heard Isaac and Esau talking, and remember, Jacob was her favorite. She wanted him to get the blessing. So she did something really sneaky. She told Jacob, "I will prepare tasty food for your father. You take it to your father to eat. Then he'll give you his blessing before he dies." See, Isaac was blind. She was telling Jacob to pretend he was Esau. But there was a slight problem with her plan. First off, Esau was hairy. So if Isaac touched Jacob's smooth skin, he would know the truth. The Bible says Esau had a certain smell too, which might be a polite way of saying he stunk. I mean, imagine how smelly a guy would be if he was always sweating and getting dead animal blood stuck on his clothes and matted in his hairy skin. And this was before deodorant. So even though Isaac was blind, he might smell Jacob or touch his smooth arm and know the truth. Well, Rebekah was sneaky like Jacob. She told Jacob to put sheepskin on his arms and wear some of Esau's smelly clothes. Now Isaac would never know. And even though Isaac wondered why the voice sounded like Jacob, guess what? The trick worked. Jacob got the blessing. Now Esau would have to work for him. As you might imagine, Esau was furious. In fact, Rebekah had to help Jacob run away so Esau wouldn't kill him. What's really crazy about this story is Jacob messed up big time, but he really did get God's blessing. Esau even forgave him later. We don't know why God let this happen, but the truth is we all mess up sometimes, and God still wants us to be part of his story. And that's the story of Jacob and Esau. So, in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Jacob and Esau were twins. They were different. Jacob tricked Esau. Esau sold his birthright for stew. Later, Esau wanted his blessing. Rebekah helped Jacob trick his dad Isaac. Jacob got Esau's blessing. Esau was furious. Jacob ran away, but God still blessed him. And that's a part of God's story.
So we just watched the story of two brothers. One was called Esau and one was called Jacob, and they were twins. So Esau was slightly older than Jacob. He was born first, and then Jacob was born second. But these brothers were opposites. Have you got a brother or a sister that you are the total opposite to? So you might like football, but your brother or sister really doesn't like football. Or you like cheese, and your brother and sister hates cheese. Well, this was these brothers. They were very, very different. So Esau, it says in the Bible, the one that was born first, was their dad's favourite. And that's a bit strange to me. I don't think my mum and dad has favourites, but Esau was his dad's favourite. It says that he was a hunter. He liked finding animals and killing them, and he did all that kind of things. And it says he was really hairy. He had not smooth skin at all. He was hairy and he smelled a lot because he liked to be outside. But his brother Jacob, it says in the Bible that Rebekah, so their mum, Jacob was her favourite. It says that he liked to be inside, he didn't like to be outside like Esau, and he had smooth skin. And we find out a little bit in his story that he is a little bit sneaky. So the twin brothers were very different people, and we're very different as well. We all have our own unique identity. And identity in the dictionary is defined as this. It's a set of beliefs or qualities that make one person different to another. And I believe identity comes in two parts. So here's the first part. I think identity can be shown on the outside, can't it? So we all look different, we all have different appearances, we all have different hair colours and hairstyles and eye colours, we're all different heights, some are really tall, some are very small, and we all have a different outside identity. But we all have a different inside identity as well, don't we? We all have different personalities, different likes, different dislikes. Some people have different beliefs to others as well. So we have an inside identity as well. And today I have 3 points for you that I believe is important when we're thinking about our identities. So here we go. So my first point is this, is that your identity is unique to you. So you are very different to the person who is sitting next to you. You are very unique on the outside as well as the inside. There's no one else in the world like you. And in the Bible, there's a verse in Psalm 139, verse 14, and it says, I praise you, so I praise God, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And that's true about you, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are unique, so unique that there's no one else in the world like you. Your identity is unique to you. So my second thing is this, is that you have a purpose. You're needed just as you are. And so no one else can live your life like you can. No one else can take the place in your family that you have. No one else can be a friend to your friends like you are. You have a purpose in all of these different situations. Even the smallest animals in the world have a purpose. Think about ants and think about bees. We wouldn't manage to survive without them, but their purpose, even though they're very small, they are certainly unique as well, but they have a purpose that is very, very important, just like you. So we are unique and we all have a purpose. And so let me tell you about somebody who definitely were both of those things and was very important. Her name was Marie Curie. You might have heard of her before. She was born in 1867 and she definitely had an important purpose. She was someone who enjoyed learning a lot, and she discovered 2 chemicals that nobody else had discovered before, and they were called polonium and radium. And nowadays we now use those to help people fight cancers. They use them as different treatments to help heal people from their illnesses. Her work was so important that we now celebrate her now, and we are able to reap the rewards of the things that she did back then. And we're so thankful for that person that she was, because she was unique, she fulfilled her purpose, and that made her so important. So you are important too. So I want you to be thankful today for the life that you get to live, for the likes and dislikes that you have, that you look different to other people, that you get to have different friends from other people, because it makes you uniquely you. And so just like Marie Curie, where she didn't know when she was a child that she was going to discover two chemicals that's going to help all these people, you don't know where your life's going to go either. And so I need you to embrace the fact that you are uniquely you, that you have an important purpose, and that you are very, very important.
Well, there we are, the end of another assembly. How amazing is it just to take that moment and to think about how special each one of us are, how unique we are, to celebrate that we're different from our friends, but yet we can all get on. So boys and girls, I hope that you remember that this week, that you are unique, that you have a purpose, and each one of you are so, so important to this world. I wonder what difference you are going to make in your lifetime. I hope you have a great week, work hard, and we'll see you next time. Bye.